Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I had to make a cup of coffee this morning. Good morning, Kira. Everybody do me a favor. Like the live. Share it. Let everybody know we're here. And I appreciate
The phone is connected and charging.
That have gotten up early. Oh, White Sox and Kira are awake. Please go sit down somewhere. You can't sit in my lap. I have too many notes to go through. Say good morning, White Sox. Say good morning. Are you going to say good morning, buddy? Or are you going to be silent? Wait. You scratched yourself again? Ugh. Always in that same spot, buddy. White Sox. They say good morning. Are you going to say good morning? And you hate when I put cream on it, but why do you do that? How's everybody this Friday morning? By the way, if there's something you want to talk about, whoop, you can't be in my lap, buddy. It's open mic. Good morning, good morning. Oh, we getting here quick. Hold on, let's do this first. Because I know CJ would say, do it. A reminder to everyone that tomorrow night is our first Digital After Dark. I have something very interesting to share with y'all tomorrow night. And y'all might want to take a picture of it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to post it, but y'all might want to take a picture of it. Been working on it for a week. This is my backup. Okay, honey, no problem. Backup accounts are welcome. If you're a member of the team, please hit a heart me. It helps everybody like the live until you feel the heart's tail and then take a break. And I'm going to say again, nobody, I'm going to say it again, please, every time I change the photo, like the live until you feel the heart's tail. Then that way you're not trying to figure it out all the time. So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. sharp. And let me just explain why I love y'all. Because I am a March Madness fanatic. I mainly watch the boys. I will watch the UConn women. But I love March Madness men's basketball. It started on Wednesday. No, Wednesday. No. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, it started on Wednesday. Yesterday, I was up past 12 o'clock to watch it, which is part of the reason why I'm tired. I fell asleep, woke up. And then, oh, thank you for that. I appreciate it. And then I realized, oh my goodness, they're going to be, it is, Katie Lee, it is. And so it was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be live during the game. And I was like, well, I'll just have them playing in the background. That's right. Go Blue. I do have them getting beat by Duke, though, unfortunately. All right. This is just a reminder. Okay, guys, I'm about to change the picture. So tap the live, fill the heart's tail, and then share it. Okay. So let's talk about Kim real quick, because it's going to be quick. Yesterday, Kim has been going live off and on, off and on, off and on, right? She doesn't even right? She doesn't even have a lot of content. She's basically going live to beg for money, right? Which she used to do, but she also used to be a little bit more entertaining. And I think she was more entertaining because all she had to do was say, I need money, and the money poured in, the gifts poured in, whatever the case may be. And what is happening to her is what happened to Chef Carl and True Knowledge. When the money stops coming because people realize that it's never going to end, you're never going to get yourself out of the situation, they'll be supportive, they'll tap your screen, they'll do all of that, but they're not going to keep sending money. Now, every once in a while, she gets somebody to send her something, but she's literally down to asking for like $10 to eat every day. Good morning, guys. She can't even, like, I need $300, I need $500, etc. She's not even on that kind of time anymore. And I think this eviction has created some questions, because what have you been doing with your money? And let's be honest, awareness, in my case, raising the consciousness, has also made a dent in what's happening with her. So I saw yesterday, and I'm talking about somebody else's video, right? They went through housing regulations, and they felt like she wouldn't even be able to get new housing because before she could, she would have to pay the entire arrearage before she could get more housing. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because the last time she got evicted, she got right back into a new place. So there's something about her being a vulnerable person, something about her clear disability that makes the state, I believe she's in Minnesota, she's getting evicted for failure to pay her rent. The last time she paid any rent was in November. My thing is, at least pay the arrearage, ma'am. Because while the arrearage is technically going to housing or whatever the case may be, it is because they determined that she was getting too much money from TikTok and any other platform she might have been using that had to count. Now, I say all of that to say that for everybody on here that's getting disability and they're getting money, their day is coming. It may take some time. How much does she owe? Over $3,000. Good morning. Over $3,000 is what she owes. So yesterday, she goes live in the morning. Oh, Linda, it's coming. It's coming. And I think one of the reasons why her situation escalated quickly is because of all of the services she was getting. And the fact that her apartment, I don't know if it was the complex or some state agency that was overseeing it. But when she signed the lease, I believe it was either April 1st or June 1st. I forgot. I read the lease a while ago. But that review is what sparked their questions about other money she was getting. She does play the system, but she might have just messed up. Good morning, Iowa girl. How are you? Welcome in. So she gets up. She's putting on deodorant. Ma'am, can you do those things before you hit live? Like, I don't understand why people hit live in the midst of things that should be private. And why it baffles me is because when somebody like me talks about it, then I should mind my business. How can I mind my business when you're putting it on the internet? The internet is everybody's business. Well, she was with her brother a few days ago at the pantry shelf or the food shelf or whatever you want to call it. She is the queen of rage bait. But now all of them are doing that. Why can't you just mind your business? Well, ma'am or sir. And it's my position that I'm going to talk about the things that I see and hear for myself. So if that's my position, then I'm talking about the stuff I see and hear that you do. What do you mean? So this is what she says. She says she's getting ready. And people were like, oh, what are you going to do today? Like, what are you getting ready for? Listen to this list. She first announced that she needed to do laundry yesterday. And that she has her apps of cash if anybody can help. And in her sticker, it had her apps of cash number. And it said, drop some love. Ma'am. Love? Okay. So then she said she's getting ready to go to the bathroom, which again, why do we need to know that? But she's going to go to the bathroom, to the library to bring some books back. She's going to go to the food shelf. She's going to come home. And then this is the part. Then she's going to go down the street to see if she can raise a couple of dollars to do some laundry. And I wrote, what? In all capital letters and exclamation points. Like, what? Why are you... This is my thing. We all know why she's doing it. She's doing it to hope to guilt somebody into giving her the money so that she doesn't have to do that humiliating thing. And she relies on the fact that all of us would feel humiliated if we had to do that, right? So maybe somebody will send me the money so that I don't have to do that. It's why she announces that. Most of us would be too embarrassed to announce it. If we felt like that's what we had to do, we wouldn't tell anybody. But she is so accustomed to being okay with manipulating people that that's what she does. And it also makes it very clear to me that she's not getting the money she used to. Not even by a little bit. Correct. People had to wash in the bathtub. If that's what they had to do. Right. And so, again, Kim has no too low. Okay? There's no too low for her. Right. She has no shame, no moral compass, nothing. So what are we supposed to think? And then it seemed like she paused the live. And what I love is they don't even have the decency to come back and say, thank you, I'll see you later. I'm going to go do what I got to do. I'll be back on live later. No. And I said to myself, I wonder if somebody sent her money. She went and saw that there was money in her apps of cash, and she just never came back. Lisa is famous for that. And one of the reasons why they do that is because somebody is in the live that sent the money, right? But they don't want anybody to know that they got sent money. They don't even have to announce the person. All they have to do is say thank you. But they don't, because then they want to be able to come back later and say, I got nothing. And then what they'll say to the person is, I just don't want to out you. I don't want anybody to know that you sent me the money. But again, it's a manipulation tactic. Now, I'm not sure if she came on anymore yesterday. They do learn from each other, CJ. They absolutely do. And not only do they learn from other scammers, they learn from us too. Let's be frank about it. They learn from us too. So I don't know if she came back on. I am sure she was back on last night. Hopefully somebody screen recorded it, posted it on YouTube so I can watch it. But I say this and I'm going to say it again. Awareness always wins. We just have to be patient and consistent. Consistent and patient. Because whether it's TikTok that takes them down, whether it's Social Security, whether it's whatever services they're receiving, when some of these people start actually making money off of it, somehow they think it's never going to end. My faithful, loyal supporters are never going to stop. Ask Detroit Nike how that's working out for him. But I'm going to save him for another day. By the way, and I don't have her on the list, but I just want to acknowledge Patsy for a moment. Now, I'm not saying that she's no longer drinking at all, but I have gone, Amanda has so much going on in Maine. She knows we all know she's not prepared to come back and face it. But do I think that she's not hitting people behind the scenes, or maybe has an account somewhere else that she's doing it? She hasn't gone away. She's just not here on TikTok because she doesn't want to face the music. And so I just want to say something about Patsy real quick. She alarmed a lot of us when she was on a couple months ago. And then she re-alarmed us all when she came back and was drinking with her brother and lost it. And when she came on later and was like, it was a slip up, I side-eyed her. I'm like, girl, that was an all-night slip up. Like, what? But since then, I have seen her live a few times. I see her drinking water, and she's definitely more lucid. She's funny. And so I just want to say, if you feel the need, encourage her to keep going. She said she's going to AA meetings virtually, or LA or AA. I can't remember. But this is the point I want to make by that. If I see you doing something that I think is egregious, I'm going to call you out. But if I see you doing well, I'm going to acknowledge that as well. Because I'm not interested in people being homeless, or people not having food to eat, or people being where I met them. I actually want to see people take responsibility and do better. So I'm going to acknowledge that for her. It's Blue Eyes. It's like blue underscore EYEZ and then a bunch of numbers. I don't have it. Okay, it's blue underscore eyes EYEZ dot 4117. She's doing better. And oh, yep. Thank you, Berries. And so I'm just going to acknowledge it because they love to say that we want to see them down. We want to see them out. We want to see them homeless. No. No, I don't. When was she loaded? I haven't seen her loaded lately in the last couple of days. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Oop, I didn't mean to send that invitation. Ignore it. Yeah, okay, Lisa, yeah, I understand. I understand because some of the things she said about her child being unalived, but you like it was obvious that she was inebriated beyond, like if I had drank as much as she had drunk that night, I would have been in the hospital with alcohol poisoning. Her body is clearly accustomed because I even said it the other day. There's no way I would have been able to read and respond to comments. And the stuff she was saying was ridiculous. And the fact that she did all that drinking and then was going to get up in the morning and drive, like, it was triggering. But since then, I've seen her live a couple of times. And in my opinion, she was more lucid. She had reasonable conversations. That's all I'm going to say. 3 sips put you under the table. Yeah, I don't drink that much. Yeah, she does seem sober. But because her body can handle a lot of alcohol, she could do a couple of shots and then come on. I don't know. But she's not doing what she was doing. And so I'm just going to acknowledge it and hope that she keeps going. That's it. That's all. Because I want to dispel this rumor that we want to see them at the bottom. I do not. And I'm going to stand 10 toes down. That's not what I want to do. Okay. Now, you don't have to tap for this. This is just my way of reminding myself of who I want to go to next. So we did Kim. Let's do J. Paul. Oh, thank you. Now, I hadn't seen her for a couple of days, right? I haven't seen her. I'm not saying she wasn't on. I haven't witnessed her on since she moved in with her sister. Has anybody seen the sister? Because I find it a little interesting that we haven't seen the sister, but perhaps the sister doesn't want to be on her TikTok because she doesn't want to be embarrassed by her. I don't know. Are you clean? I didn't even see that live. So this is what I'm going to ask about Gabby. I will talk about her last. And then if anybody witnessed last night, Tia isn't really her sister. Oh, I thought they had shared the same father. Okay, well, all I know. She was on last night? Okay. Well, I had a lot going on last night. So I like to talk about what I see with my own eyes. But if back to what I was saying, when open mic is, when we start that, anybody who has information that I didn't share about any of the people that I talk about, please come up and share it with me. Of course, I'm going to go back and try to watch videos for the times that I missed so that I can speak to it intelligently. But come up. Let's talk about it. So, she's at her quote-unquote sister's house, and she is still claiming that she has this overnight job. So she says she was on live after her sister woke her up that her ex was threatening her. Why did it take y'all so long to call the police? But I digress. They call the police and J. Paul ends the live. That was the original live that she ended. Now, what's funny though is she took a picture of the police being there and then sent that to her boss, apparently. But we all know J. Paul would have used that to her TikTok advantage. But whatever, she ended it. Maybe the police asked her to end it. I don't know. But she ended it. When she comes back, she needs $30 to $40 for gas and food. Now, I'm going to ask you this, J. Paul, Jordan. If you're getting a paycheck, what does your paycheck pay for? You now don't even have the rent that you owe that you didn't pay. And by the way, the whole court case with her landlord and this girl and blah, 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 she wasn't going to court for that. She was going to court for an eviction. And as I told y'all, she was like, as I was getting all my stuff out, the landlord was standing there lurking. He's weird. No, he wasn't. He was there probably to change the locks and make sure when you left, you took everything. That's what landlords do. I know when I was a landlord, if it was time for you to go, I was going to be there. Whether you were leaving on your own or whether the marshals had to be there, I was going to be there. Now, I didn't interfere. Sometimes I stayed in the car, but I wanted to make sure that the house wasn't trashed in the process, and I wanted to make sure that I could change the locks immediately. And so this is how you could tell that the people who support them are disingenuous. Because the people in her comments were like, that he's such a creep. He's so weird. Blah, blah, blah. Yo, why are you blowing smoke up her butt? Can anybody explain that to me? Because anybody who knows anything about anything knows that landlords are often there to make sure that their property doesn't get destroyed and to make sure that they can change the locks so you can't come back in later and do it. What about that makes him a creep? But because they believe every single word that comes out of her mouth, they're not even, I'm not going to say they're not intelligent, but they don't spend 2 seconds listening to whether it makes sense or not. Right, the sheriff might have been there too. Correct. And I told y'all the other day about the black couple who rented it to these two women in a relationship, and how within a week they knew it was going to go left. The girls moved out and then unscrewed the toilets and then turned the water on and destroyed not only their house but their neighbor's house. So landlords know that stuff like that happens. Had they been there, because it wasn't an eviction, they were just leaving. Had they been there, though, they would have been able to turn the water off immediately before it damaged their entire property. Oh yeah, it's a big thing on TikTok. And the girls first tried to say it wasn't them, and then they either privated or like disconnected their accounts because people were coming for them. So I'm sorry I'm pausing, guys. I'm drinking coffee because I needed a little wake up. So then, because Jordan always needs to add the extra, she let it slip that the ex-boyfriend lived in Maryland. And that she could hear, that at first they didn't think it was anything, but she could hear his GPS 2 hours away, I think she said. Now, will somebody who's intent on violence travel 2 hours? Yeah. But you heard the GPS? His GPS could have been taking him anywhere. But I digress. Then she said, I told my sister that she could come to work with me and sit in the car all night, and I'll come out and talk to her on my breaks. What? And then somebody made the point that why can't she go to her mother's house? Okay, let me write that down. Marty Mendoza. Can you DM me their at, please? And the reason why I say please send me the at, even when you send me a live going on, send me the at as well, because I'm pre-blocked from a lot of people. So when someone said, can she go to her mother's house, your sister go to her mother's house, she was like, yeah, she could do that too. So if that's an option, why would she come and spend all night long in your car? Please somebody tell me how that makes sense. And so she continuously continued. She continuously asked for $30 to $40. And she'll talk a little bit and then be like, so guys, if anybody would like to send me $30 to $40, I could really use the help. I need gas, and then I need money for food. Jordan. And she always wants money for food. She'll say sandwich meat, but she's going to fast food. Where's your check going, Jordan? And what I also find interesting is if she needs $30 to $40 for food every day, or needs dog food or whatever it is, how come your car hasn't been cut off lately, Jordan? Remember that? Every day, every other day, my car's cut off. I need $400 to pay the bill. What happened to that? Right, best Nana ever. That's so cute. I don't know. Oh, who is this person? Her name is Jordan Paul. That is the account she mainly goes live on, at Let's Be Gay Together with the number 2. but her name is Jordan Paul. Katie Lee, what I think it is that she is not working, and by asking for this money every day, and she kind of switches up the amount, or not even the amount, she switches up the reason why she needs the money is because she doesn't have a job and she's paying for her life through this. And what she will often do is, if I know that I need money to get back and forth to work, why am I waiting until an hour or two to ask for it? She does that so that she can set a deadline for everybody. I have to be to work by 11:30. I come on at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then I say, guys, I really need the money. I'm supposed to be to work at such and such a time. And it applies the pressure on the audience to make it happen for her. And all she needs is one person to start it. And one person sends $10, and then it seems like dominoes. Boop, 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 boop. She gets the money and she gets off. Now she's calling her supporters misfits. I wouldn't want to be called a misfit, but, whatever. Even after she acknowledged that her sister could go stay with her mother, she continued to say, my sister can come to work with me. Why are you trying to get money off of your sister's unfortunate set of circumstances? Carrie Ann, don't feel stupid. Recognize that you have a kind heart. That's it. It's not stupidity. It's having a kind heart. And they're good at what they do. It takes a certain kind of person to be able to do this for this long. It's a special kind of person. Most of us came to this side of the internet. I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure somebody knows, but I'm not sure. Absolutely, Katie Lee. I shouldn't say most, a lot of the women in her chat have rainbows in their bio. Okay, I'm going to change the photo, so make sure you're ready to like the live, share the live. Or not even share it. Just hit it until the heart's tail is finished. Oh, my favorite new person. So as I told y'all, she went on this thing about looking for me. She found me in Cass's live, I believe. Yes, they are. They're master manipulators. They're not manipulating a little bit. They're masters. So she saw me in Cass's live because she talked about it on live. Somebody reposted it and then sent it to me. She was looking for me twice. So when I saw her live, I don't care. I'm going to go in with my whole chest. I heard you were looking for me. First she called me a B, then she called me a mother effer, and then told me to get in the box. Well, y'all know how I feel about that. The only reason why you wanted me in the box was to scream and yell and curse me out, and then drop me so that you could feel better. I wouldn't have gotten 2 minutes to talk, ask questions, nothing. So I'm not that stupid. Why would I put myself in those sets of circumstances? Not going to happen. And so I said to her, I'll get in the box if you stop being disrespectful. How did she turn that around? This has This is my platform. I could be disrespectful if I want to. And do you really think that I'm going to get in your box under them circumstances? Absolutely not. And so she lost it and was talking crap. And I just put ha 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 in the comments. Like, what? I'm not 12. I'm not 17. I'm not 25. I'm not even 35. You cannot intimidate me, ma'am. You can't make me do something that I don't want to do. So then she tells me I have 3 seconds to get in the box, right? She says 3, 2, and then drops me. Because what she didn't want me to do was get in the box. She didn't want that. So she dropped me before she got to 1 so that she could say to her audience, see, she won't even get in the box. Blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. So I went back in on Digital Deceivers Expose. That is the backup to this account. And I said, why did you drop me? And her response was, oh, you gonna come back on another account and drop and blocks and mutes that account as well. I'm sorry, she didn't drop me before. She muted and blocked me because I never got in the box. So Beth, this is for you. If you want to have a conversation, you are welcome to come to my live at any time. You can get in the box, but you will be respectful. You can disagree with me. You can question me on my thought process. That is fine. You can tell me you disagree with me. But I refuse to be disrespected, whether it's my box or anybody else's box. Not going to happen. And if you think calling me those things was going to keep me up at night, sweetheart, I probably slept better that night. Because what you did, the same way that they say we bring attention to them, you brought attention to me. Thanks. Thank you very much. And I hope, hey Fallon, I hope very much that some of the people in your chat decided to come check me out. So I appreciate it. So, if you weren't here the other day, on Wednesday, she had a nerve after asking her audience to buy her something. I don't know if it was food. She came back and asked if people would give her $60 so she could buy her dogs a television. And the person that I was talking to that had funded her the dinner the night before actually gave her more money than she needed. Her and I were having a conversation, and I was like, do you see her asking for $60 to buy the dogs a television? She was like, what's wrong with that? Again, if you are in need of food, you are in need of shelter, you are in need of things that are your basic necessities, fine, right? I'm going to call you out, but at least, okay. But a TV for your dogs? That's the kind of luxury that if you want to do it, you are by all means. Lots of people leave TVs on for dogs, cats, whatever the case may be. They don't do it by asking other people to pay for it, though. Why are you asking for money for food when you qualify for food stamps? And I said that to her enabler. She's asking for food and drinks and blah, blah, blah. I was like, first of all, she wants to eat convenience foods. She wants to go to a restaurant. And I think they like to do that because it makes them feel like they're like everybody else. But that same $30 could go get a pound of ground beef, some spaghetti sauce. You could get some gravy starter or even a can of gravy, and you can have meatballs with spaghetti sauce and gravy and some rice and pasta and eat for a week, at least 4 days. But no, you'd rather get the money and go to a Chinese restaurant or a Mexican restaurant. She even asked people to pay for her anniversary dinner. What do you pay for? Right. $30 can go far if you shop properly. Now, if what you do is you go in and buy snacks and soda and all of that, yes, it will add up. And food is expensive. You might not be able to eat eggs for a couple of months. But if you were trying hard enough, you could make it happen. But she has gotten to the point where she doesn't need to try. Just ask everybody on the internet. And what's also interesting to me is she's clearly not making money on Clapper because she has to come back to TikTok to beg. What's wrong? I thought you loved Clapper. Stay over there. Stay over there. Now, I know this says Clapper has Devin Parsons. I believe they changed their name on Clapper, and I don't know what it is yet. But we'll find out. I agree. Clapper doesn't allow begging. Why is it anybody else's responsibility to pay for your gardening supplies? And her enabler's excuse was, if I'm pro cannabis. I was like, I don't have a problem with it. People use it for medical. People use it for their daily whatever. That I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with the expectation that other people should pay for it when it's not a necessity. And her enabler was like, well, if it can prevent her from going back to hard rugs, then I think it's a necessity. Then you pay for it. If that is a necessity in your life, you pay for it. Now, I don't know. They were like, you clearly are new to the TikTok streets and this has been going on for 4 years and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, right? It's been going on for 4 years. And you are in no better circumstances than you were when you started 4 years ago. I don't need to know the entire story to know that this is ridiculous. I could have started watching her a week ago and could already see how ridiculous this is. Then she tries to blame every single thing going on in her life on somebody named Tina Sue, who I've never seen, never heard of, nothing. But what I can say is this. Whether Tina Sue got you fired from somewhere before or not, I don't know. What I do know is that if you were going to be a correctional officer, Tina Sue did not need to make a phone call. The correctional facility would never have hired you. Never. And why? Strictly based on the fact that they would have given you a physical. They would have tested you for rugs. They would have saw the gardening supply in your system and said you are too high risk. And because of the way she runs her mouth, she'd have told the inmates, oh yeah, I smoke every day. I call it gardening supplies. And guess what would happen? They manipulate you into bringing it in. They're smart in prison. For everybody who thinks, no. They are smart. Had they not been doing crime and had they been doing like a legitimate business, Oh, somebody reported me for regulated goods content. I'm going to start over. Okay? I'm going to start over because I'm not going to let this restriction stand. And I'm going to appeal it. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming right back. Do me a favor, like the live for a few. Oh, thank you for, yep. If you're a part of the team, hit the daily heart me. It lets TikTok know. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to the team. And if you're new here, hold off until you feel like I'm bringing you value, and then come back. Clearly, we have Beth Butthurt. Yep. Oh, somebody reported me for talking about regulated goods because I was talking about rug use, but I never said a rug. I continued to call it gardening supplies. So how can I call it gardening supplies because she calls it gardening supplies and I'm talking about regulated goods? But it's either her or one of her sycophants. I don't care. I don't care at all. I haven't been hit with a violation in months. So I know it's her or one of her people. I haven't been hit with a violation in months. Of course I didn't, but you know. No, I don't think Ty. I think Ty is behind the scenes asking for money. Right. The show goes on. Of course she does. Because she doesn't want to have to start growing her audience again. But my thing is this, you clearly got people who rock for you, so what's the problem? Why do you care that I'm talking about you? Just already and we're back. Facts. I don't understand why people feel like I'm intimidated. For what? I'm giving commentary on what I see and hear. So why am I intimidated? Okay, so let's go back. So I was talking about the fact that if she had tried to be a correctional officer, she would not be hired. Even if it is legal in the state you are in, they are not going to hire you as a correctional officer with that showing up as a part of your physical. On top of the fact that when you start, your physical requires that you can do some very specific things because it is a dangerous job. Can you meet the physical requirements, Beth? Correct, Violet. Because it's too much of a risk. They already have rugs going through the prison system without having a correctional officer who partakes regularly. So I heard her live. And of course, she was back here telling everybody she has a PP, a CA, and a VN. And at that point, she was $30 from goal. And then someone sent her $5, so it was $25 to goal. Then she said she needs to be careful on TikTok so that she could go ahead and reach her goal and then go over to Clapper. She sees a difference between the two apps. And what it is that Clapper allows you to do things TikTok does not. But I think that if Clapper starts finding a problem, they are going to up their community guidelines and rules and regulations as well. You're not going to be able to do whatever you want to do. But okay, enjoy it while it lasts. Then someone said stolen valor. And then she said, can we prove that? If anybody knows anything about that, I mean, I've heard it about her before, but can we prove it? Let's do that. Let's do that. Then she said, I don't know what to do with you, Matilda, except block you and move on. Let me tell you why that was significant. Because the other day when I was watching, Devin said, they said his name, they gave Matilda's actual name, where he lived, not an address, but like a city and state. And then Devin said that they were going to file sexual charges against Matilda. So now all you're going to do is block and move on? That's not what you said a couple of days ago, Devin. What happened, Devin? You found out that unlike TikTok, where you could say anything, allege anything, and you don't have to prove it, that in order to get that done legally, properly, you would have to prove it? So is that why you're just blocking and moving on? Or are you blocking and moving on because you know that Matilda has 1,000 accounts and it would take you a lifetime to be able to block all of them? When I tell you they say anything to sound good, they say anything. But they know on TikTok, because of who they are, they don't have to prove what they say. And she was like, they were calling me from 6 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning and blah, blah, blah. All of that to make you sound most sympathetic. That people are harassing you. If you don't like what's happening to you on TikTok, stay off TikTok. You don't want people to talk about the fact that you asked for $60 to get your dogs a TV? Stop doing it. They kill me. They treat me so bad. They bully me, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I'm not bullying you. I am merely stating the facts of what I see and hear and adding my intellectually sound thoughts. That's it. And in some cases, I bring truth to the nonsense. Because y'all lie on here. Correct, CJ. Matilda has more accounts than they have patients. Absolutely. Right. And I want to say this. When did telling the truth become a negative thing? Because in Sammy's live the other day, one of her mods was like, if you're going to be negative in here, we don't need that. We need positivity. When did the truth become a negative thing? When did asking questions about what you say become a negative thing? The only thing that's positive is if I say I'm going to send you something. But that's TikTok rules. That's not rules of life. The truth is never negative. Now, if your truth ends up being a negative thing, that is your truth. But the truth, the statement of fact, is never negative. It's just not meeting your wishes and demands. That's it, that's all. The truth hurts. Facts. The truth hurts. It's not negative, though. Let's move on. Let's see. Who do we want to do next? I did Kim. I'm going to save Sammy and Gabby for the ends. Okay, let's do Cody. Because we are right back at it, Cody. Y'all know how I feel. She's the dry begging queen of TikTok. When I tell you that she literally, her and her enablers and her mods will stand 10 toes down that she's not begging. She's not asking for anything. How can y'all say that when you sit in her live day in and day out? How do they find it acceptable that her underage son and his girlfriend are mods for her? And they're watching the live. You don't believe me? Let me show you something real quick. Where is that? Oh, I might have taken it in the other phone. Dang it. Let me see. Oh, wait, no. Nope, that's not it. Let me see if I have it. Sorry, it's going to take me too long. So I'm not going to bother. I'll bring it up maybe tomorrow night. But her son is a mod. Her underage son is a mod, and so is his girlfriend. And they watch her live, and they're looking for people who are streaming her. And it pisses her off that she's being streamed. And they spend so much time trying to find who is streaming her. Why? Because you don't want people to see the truth? How can her mod say that she doesn't ask for anything? So let's go back a little bit. So she had a 3-day ban, and she was still begging for the phone bill. She was still begging for the phone bill. And how she dry begs is she's like, guys, my phone is going to get cut off and our internet's going to get cut off. And when she started this, it was, my daughter's in the hospital and I'm not going to be able to talk to her. And my son is going here and I'm not going to be able to come live. But I'm not asking for anything. I'm just saying that I need $20. I got to figure out how I'm going to get $20. That's called dry begging. That's what dry begging is. It is classic dry begging. Then she said that she rented a washer and dryer because her washer and dryer broke on her. Now, when you have that many kids in the house, you absolutely need to have a washer and dryer. Like, there's no question. So I'm not knocking that. She rented it, but then she said that the first payment isn't due until April 1st. And I wrote down, we're already laying the carpet down for the next beg for April 1st that she needs to pay for her washer and dryer. We're already laying it down. Why do we need to know when it's due? But okay. Then she tells us that it's going to be a lot, but she needs to figure it out. When do you figure anything out other than asking for money on the internet? So then she complains about her daughter as usual. She said, I need to ask people for help, but I don't want to. And then I wrote, then don't. But you don't get to sit here and say that you're not begging, that you're not asking for anything, while you are absolutely asking for everything. Then she said she was happy for the 3-day ban because she wasn't on the internet, but then she hated it because she missed everybody. No, she hated the fact that for 3 days she couldn't beg for money, but I bet you she was begging behind the scenes, because what day isn't she begging? But that day, her phone was off, so she literally went for a walk to connect to a hotspot so that she could talk to everybody. And she even started slowing down her walk so she could stay on to beg for the last $20. Well, somebody gave her the $20 because then she came back with a vengeance. And why I say that is because she came back ready to do the thing. So last night she came on, and now she is boxing her mods because they're still trying to figure out who's streaming her. Somebody told her about ghost mode. Once you get in on ghost mode, there's nothing they could do. Somebody just told me about him today. I haven't seen him. So then she says that her man has a new job lined up. It's for more money, apparently better hours. And she says now they have a car. It just has to be fixed. And I literally wrote down, new beg. Here we go. Here we go. So then she said there's something wrong with the alternator. It's like $100 unless he goes to like the junkyard and he could get it cheaper for like $50. Again, why do we always find out a due date, an amount? For what? You could have stopped with, we got a new car and we just got to get an alternator, or we got to get it fixed. But when we do it, then he'll be able to get the new job. But she added all that in because she's like, he can't quit this job until we get the car fixed, and then we'll have more money, and then we'll need less help. So we need the alternator for at least for $100 or at least $50. She's the dry begging queen. She lets her audience know every single thing she needs. Now, what she did do was privatize her Amazon wish list. I wonder why. Oh, yeah, I just talked about that. And Angie, the one sitting in her chat, if she's on the way to dry begging, but she's also trauma dumping. You bought a new car, and your man bought a new car, and it's expensive. Nobody told you you had to do that. And this is Cody. You deserve the new car, not if you can't afford it, boo. Oh, yes. Tap away because I changed the photo. Tap until you feel the heart's tail and then take a break. Hey, Cass. And if y'all don't understand what I mean, if you tap long enough, you'll see the heart. And then if you keep tapping, you'll see what I call a tail. It takes 85 clicks to fill it. I'm not asking you to do it throughout everything that I say. Just when I change a photo, do it. And then you don't gotta worry about it anymore. Good morning, disturbed one. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Then she says she has a pair of shoes that are uncomfortable for her, so she's selling them on the Facebook Marketplace. And then she says, to make my own money. I almost want to say, be pleased. Like, what? A pair of shoes is going to buy the alternator? Because that's what she said. She was like, I'm going to sell it for the alternator and some laundry detergent. Now, my question is this. How have you been washing the kids' clothes all this time? Why do you need somebody to buy you laundry detergent? And guess what happened? Juju went into her Amazon wish list, bought the detergent, and let her know she'll have it today. Now, the reason why I call out Juju is because Juju paid for their Christmas. Juju paid for an entire birthday party. Not only did she buy the decorations, the pizzas, I don't know if she bought the soda and juice, but then she also sent, I believe she was the one who purchased the tablet. Good morning.
Look, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Lisa Bryn in the comments needs to be addressed in case there's someone else in here or a couple of others from previously who are frivolously reporting. She wants to know the difference between you making money and these dry beggars and these other people with unreported tax dollars that they're getting. And she still seems to have an issue. Comments are flying by. I couldn't pin it, so.
That's okay. Lisa Brim, would you like to come in the box? I'm gentle. I'm not going to yell and curse you out like Beth did me. But I would love to address your question. I don't see you. Can you ask for a box? I can't find you, so
Yeah, I had it for a second, but it flew by.
I see other people
It
that
says
wants attention.
is are we judging in been jealous? So if you can decipher that, you're much better than me right now. It's right.
Lisa Brim, put yourself up here, baby girl.
It's right above Cass's
Make a
comment.
comment so that I can invite you in. Come on, Lisa Brim.
I'll drop down so you can address her so she doesn't feel like she's getting ganged up on since she is so mouthy behind that keyboard.
Right, you gotta love it. So first of all, why would I be jealous of anybody else on here begging for money? Like, my bills are paid. I have food in the refrigerator. I get to go and do whatever it is that I want to go and do. So, jealous? Never. That's for A. Right. What is there to be jealous of? For A. For B, if you consider me getting gifts making money, there are times that I can talk for 3 hours and get $2 in gifts. If you consider that making money, we have to have a whole nother conversation. Furthermore, oh, there it is. Let me invite you up. Are we judging and being jealous? Okay. So I could talk for 3 hours and get $2. So that's not making my, like, what mansion can I buy with $2? Help me find it, please. And then, am I judging? So let me explain. I don't even give two kitties about the scammer themselves, right? What I'm trying to do is protect people from losing their money behind their scams, behind their dry begging. Because let's just use Cody as an example. She got people to get her kids an amazing Christmas. And then right after Christmas, one of her kids had a birthday. And they had a fantastic birthday. And I said, what is going to happen when people stop supporting her financially and there's a birthday coming up? And guess what happened? With this next child's birthday, she couldn't get people to buy pizza or drinks or decorations or the cake or the gifts. And that little boy was heartbroken that the other sibling got it, and why can't people give it to him? Now, who does that hurt? It doesn't hurt me in terms of my life, but imagine being that child. Do you think he was jealous? And she has what, 5 or 7 kids in her house? Do you think people are going to fund 7 birthday parties and then turn around and do Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's too? To the level that she got it last year? Very sus. Very sus. So, and do you, my last point is this, Lisa, if you're still here, I don't know. I invited you, you didn't take it. The people who have big money on this app aren't the people blessing all of these beggars, scammers, liars. They're not. It's the people who go to work every day. It's the people who have Social Security checks and are barely making it. And in this economy, as it continues to fluctuate, the fact that people have forgotten to buy eggs because of the price, why does your hard-earned money or your Social Security or your disability or your spouse's paycheck, why should that pay for somebody else? And if she has the illnesses that she says she has, I'm not here to refute it. Has she applied for disability? She isn't subsidized housing. Has she applied for her daughter? Since we know all of her daughter's business? Where'd they get the money to buy the car if they have to ask for food? Because the car threw me off. Where'd you get the money for the car? But you needed other people to pay for a birthday party. So, jealous, no. Do I find what they do to be deplorable? I do. But my goal is to protect the innocent and the unaware, who think that they're saving somebody just to come back a month later, a day later, 3 months later, a year later, and find them doing the exact same thing. Imagine giving somebody your last $5 thinking that they have no food in the cupboard. just for them to come back the next day and ask for fast food. Right. Wash, rinse, repeat. So I hope I answered you if you're still here. For anybody else who's here who was wondering why I do what I do, I hope that was clear. And if anybody has a question and they'd like to come in the box, it is open. I don't do yell, screaming, cursing. It's a conversation or it's nothing. It's all about priorities. You bought a car, but you don't have laundry detergent? Okay. Back to regular scheduling programming. So now, after Juju has paid for all of these things, Juju pays for the laundry detergent. And she tells her audience that when she was doing the Amazon wish list for Christmas, that she put up household items that she needed so that if anybody would like to, they could go to her now privatized Amazon wish list and buy those things for her. The messages that go on by. Rocket guy got money to fix a boat motor from a poor victim. Look him up and beware. Okay, Rocket guy. Okay, let me write it down. And what's so crazy is that they're questioning my behavior, but not theirs. And not questioning their truth or the lie or the beg. Because this is my thing. Stop saying you're not begging when you are actively begging. And they're like, I'm not begging. But the alternator costs $100 and we have to figure that out. Make that make sense. Yeah, I've never heard of him either. Harry Sisson TikTok. Every time I log on, it's somebody new. How sustainable do you think that's going to be? How many people do you think are on here that have the wealth necessary to fund somebody? When I was in Sean's live one time, I said in the comments, is anybody independently wealthy? Like, who's independently wealthy? And a woman popped up and said, I am. But did she fund his dream? No. So you being independently wealthy, you being a sycophant, still hasn't allowed you to part ways with your money. I find that interesting. Why don't you just give him the money he needs? You're rocking for him, right? You're commenting on comments that ask questions. If you are independently wealthy, why don't you just give him the 70 grand? Because people who are wealthy don't do that, or else they wouldn't remain wealthy. And they're certainly not going to give it to somebody who doesn't seem responsible. Now, they may donate to charities that they feel are worthy and do a good job and are honest. But if you're independently wealthy, then just fund Sean and we could be done. Of course, Emily, most of us do. But they started to see that there were some people who were in real need, right? And people who had empathy for mothers or fathers with children living in hotels. And somebody like him was racking thousands of dollars. And so if she could do it, why can't I do it? And they started getting money. And then the next people came, and the next people came, and the next people came. There are probably thousands of people now begging for money on TikTok. And is TikTok going to put an end to it? Probably not. But I think we should do everything in our power to slow the money down, if not get it to stop altogether. And then they have to get their act together. Good morning, Ryan Ray. So now I know I'm going to do it again. Just as a reminder for anybody who may not have been here in the morning, I am doing a special event tomorrow night from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully people on the West Coast will see it and take their opportunity to come and join us. Good morning, good morning. Oh, thank you. Can't wait. I'll be at yours. By the way, Just Stop Already is doing a live tomorrow at 4 p.m. So go check them out too. If you're not already following, go follow and come to their live tomorrow at 4 p.m. But I'll be going live at 8. And it's going to be an hour of a recap of the people we've talked about over the last week. I think you're an hour or two central. No, I think I'm an hour central, 2 hours mountain, and 3 hours Pacific. So that's why I chose 8 o'clock. It's not too late for me, and it's not too early for the West Coast. Yeah, you can find this on my account. It's posted. So if you have the time, if you have the inclination, come in and join us. Okay, I'm about to change the photo. Get ready to tap. Type. I don't know where my head is at today. Let's talk about Sammy Solo. Now, when I talked about her the other day, she was begging for food. I mean, hard time begging for food. And it's because she was begging for food because her autistic son has a very limited diet. And that is true of autistic children. Some, not going to say all. Some children have autistic children have a very limited palate. My son, who wasn't or isn't autistic, also had a limited palate. And all he wanted was Ensure. And so his doctor was like, listen, let him drink Ensure, offer him other foods, offer him a variety of foods. And at some point he may eat it. But at least the Ensure is giving him the protein and some of the vitamins he needs. Then he decided that he would eat peanut butter and jelly and Ensure. So that's where we started. Now he eats a lot. He still doesn't eat anything green, but his palate isn't as limited. But with autistic children, it's even harder for some of them. But she said there's no food in my house at all. So she gets up and shows the freezer. The freezer has a whole turkey in it. And other foods, right? Then she opened the refrigerator. And what was odd to me about her refrigerator being open is that it was full of fast food deliveries. So is that really why you want money for food? Because you don't want to have to cook? Because then she opened her pantry and they were almost full. And she was like, see, I have no food in here. Like, am I supposed to believe my lying eyes? Like, what? Now, is what was in there, would her son eat? Maybe or maybe not. But What do you mean there's no food in here? Your refrigerator told me everything I needed to know, though. You want convenience. You want easy. So when she left, I didn't know whether she got the money or not. She also talked about the fact that her car was impounded because it had a flat tire, and she said the city deemed it um, like a broke down car, and they don't want those staying on the street or parking garage. I think it was on the street, so they towed it. Now you're begging for the basics, and you're telling us about your car being impounded. Well, she then said that she went to a food pantry and all they offered her was a sack lunch. So she happened to reveal her zip code. I didn't ask. I think somebody else did ask, and she told us. So I did a look at the food banks in and around her zip code. And I showed it here the other day. Oh, thank you for the follow. I showed it the other day. There were 20 food banks in her area, but she went to one. I'm going to need you to be intellectually honest. But that told me a lot about who she is. She will say that she tried and that she did something, but she does the bare minimum and then comes to the internet and says, I tried. I don't know what's going on. I tried. I did XYZ and it's not helping. Now, she also revealed to me for the first time, I don't mean to me personally, but it's the first time I heard it, that she's pregnant. Because she tried to use the pregnancy to say that her hours got cut at work because she's a high-risk pregnancy. Now, she's not that young and that dumb, right? Your baby, your first child with this man, was already not being cared for by his father. And you turned around and got pregnant by him again, and now you want us to figure out your life, and he's out there on rugs, so he's not taking care of his children. How did you get pregnant by him again? Because that was the choice. And then she was like, well, I was on birth control. Why are you sleeping with the man that's not taking care of the child y'all already have? Forget about the birth control not working. Your legs should have been closed to him. If he wasn't taking care of you and that child beforehand, why lay down with him again? And now you have 2 kids with a deadbeat. But this is also why I tell you she's not stupid. Because she gets WIC. And WIC is for women and children, and it provides services, but it also provides food. Now, if she went to the WIC office and got that, had she said, I'm a high-risk pregnancy and my hours got reduced, or now I can't work anymore, you think the WIC office wouldn't have helped her with resources? Or at least put her in the right direction to get resources? Y'all have to be intellectually honest. If she had never heard of WIC before, if she had never been on any of these programs before, I would say, well, maybe she just doesn't know. But when people introduced her to All for One and the Linktree, she said it doesn't work everywhere. Ma'am, everywhere in the United States, things operate pretty much the same, especially when it comes to these kinds of services. Now, are there differences? Of course. But they all run pretty much the same. You get WIC. You also get food stamps. But you can't use your food stamps to get Domino's or Chinese or nuggets from McDonald's. So let's talk about the new lies unlocked from Sammy's multiple lives yesterday. Here we go. So now she comes on and says, my lights are getting cut off tomorrow. I need $125. Then she says, well, if I could get like 30 to put in my gas tank, then I can go to these agencies and see if anybody will help me. When did you get your car back? Oh, my friend helped me get it out of impound. So you have a friend that would help you get your car out of impound, but they wouldn't help you get food to feed your baby? Then she says, people are like, well, wait, you were just asking for food yesterday. Like, and she was like, oh, yes, somebody ordered me groceries, which would have been from the Kroger, and I walked to go pick it up. So that's why you don't need food anymore? Okay, now we're here for either gas to go to agencies to help her get her electric bill covered. People are like, well, why don't you call? Why don't you apply on the internet? And she was like, first it was, I called and nobody answered. Then it was, if I apply on the internet, it's not going to get done today. Well, she went from looking to agencies to just saying she needed $125. Like, agencies went out the window. Well, we also found out, that's right, everybody liked the live until you feel the heart's tale. It's a new photo. So we also found out that she already receives assistance for her electric bill, and that the balance of 125 is what is hers. She already got an extension, so they won't give her another one. But she wants to pretend that she doesn't know how it works. So then people are like, well, show us the electric bill. She never once showed the electric bill. People claim that she showed it the other day, but they couldn't verify the amount. So then people are like, well, log into your account. And she's like, I don't know. I can't do it. I tried and it takes so long and then it won't let me in. I pay my electric bill online. I pay all my bills online, as a matter of fact. Every single one. And my electric company is their website is super slow. It annoys the crap out of me because they have a button where it says pay my bill, but you got to click 3 other places to get to the actual bill to pay for it, right? But that doesn't stop me from being able to pull it up. Is it that you don't want to pull it up because your electric bill is probably $50 a month and you just haven't been paying it? And you don't want people to realize that it's not all of a sudden you got a bill for $125. It's that you haven't paid it. And then she drops the bomb that her landlord has sent her paperwork saying that they are going to send her to legal if she doesn't pay the rent. And then we find out, because what she says is that they can evict you for any reason. Now, I looked it up. In the city of Seattle, let me see if I can find that, because I was on too many phones. So I'm not sure if I have it on this phone, but let me see. No, that's not it. That's something else. I think I did it on my other phone. But I looked up the reasons. And the first one is failure to pay rent, right? Another one was that you like violate the terms of the lease. Another one was if the landlord or their family were planning on moving in, they could evict you. But it's not for no reason. But then we find out that it's for failure to pay her rent. Girl, that's not any reason. And you know that. Because the reason why they were so quick to do it is because she had actually been several months behind. And when she got her tax returned, she used it to pay the back rent, but then turned around and didn't pay for March. Now, considering that you have WIC and food stamps and you already get electric assistance, the moment you knew that your hours got cut or ended because of your high-risk pregnancy, why didn't you go and figure out what services you could get to cover things like your rent? She's playing y'all. But I decided to look up light assistance in her area. And let's see what I found. No, this is the shelter. Where's the other one? Okay, Seattle City Lights Emergency Bill Assistance Program. Now, that requires a bill to be $250 or more. Then the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program is to help low-income households meet their immediate home energy needs. They offer grants of up to $1,000. And there go the telephone numbers. So you knew your bill was late, right? You knew your bill was late. So why didn't you try anything before the day it was due? Of course she could get help. But the thing is, she was already receiving help. So was she already a member of one of these programs and then just screwed around? Because if you see the low income home energy assistance is up to $1,000. So did she get that? Right. And when Ryan Ray, and when it's cash only, when they make every excuse for why they can't use the service, but they want the cash, I always say red flags. Red flags. That is scammer 101. Every suggestion you make gets rejected for one reason or another. They can't do any of it. Shout out to Sean. Red flags. So then she went on this tirade about she doesn't want to be in a shelter with her child. Well, this organization helps pregnant mothers with children, and they can find support and shelter at Mary's Place, Seattle Union Gospel Mission, Hope Place, Women and Children's Shelters, Elizabeth Gregory Home, YWCA Pathways for Women. There are multiple places she can get information on. And Mary's Place has wrap-around services, including medical care coordination and support families and finding stable housing. But she's already in a housing circumstance where her rent is reduced. So is it because there's no more services she can get because she's already getting them all? But you got a grocery delivery and someone got your car out of impound. and now you want your light bill paid. This is what I mean when I say that it keeps going. Because even when people get you out of one situation, you find a way to have another one and another one and another one and another one. Now, I can understand wanting to keep your lights on, but you knew you had that bill. So when you got your taxes, why didn't you put a little bit towards your electric bill? And she cried, and we were trolls, and why are we being so negative? Because, ma'am, you aren't taking a single suggestion. But what we are doing is telling you the truth. And like somebody said a little while ago, the truth hurts. Then she complains, mind you, her rent is $800. And she's like, it's so much because it's plus utilities, which is electric. Everything in her house is electric, according to her. And she has to pay for the garbage cans, and she has to have 3 of those. Then somebody says something like, why did you move there or something? And she said she didn't move there. She's been there since she was 11 years old. Now, why was that significant? Right, 800. I wish. A little while later, she said she's only been living in this place for 5 years and maybe they want to get her out. Which one was it? Did you move there at 11 or 5 years ago? Because 5 years ago, you were 21. You can't even keep up with the lie. But she doesn't expect people like me to take notes. She doesn't expect us to take notes. Then she said that the complex has roaches and bed bugs. And then she thought about it and said, but not in my apartment, but just in the complex. Oh, okay. Then she said, everything is appreciated. It will go to something. People don't like that. When someone reacts with anger to a helpful suggestion, I consider it a red flag. I agree with you, Marion. I absolutely agree with you. Then she said that her rent is paid up, so that isn't the reason for the eviction. But you haven't paid for March, and you already owed multiple months at the time you got your taxes. So as a landlord, my mortgage or whatever expenses I have, they don't stop because you paid the last 2 months that you owed and you haven't paid this month. To me, you are a risk of doing it again. So, yeah, I might want you out. But she acts like it's the landlord's fault. Girl, you're smart enough to know. You're smart enough to know. So she's in affordable housing, so she doesn't have to make 2 times or 3 times the rent. Of course you don't. She then explained that she got the grocery order delivered. Somebody did it for her. And then she says, I need $1,000, y'all. Lisa, how do you think people felt when she said that? Who's giving her $1,000? Not all at once, but she'll beg to it. She will beg to getting to $1,000. And like I asked Brooke when it came to Bree and Ty, are you prepared to give $1,000? Are you prepared to give 5,000, 13? Because it's going to cost them 30 to stay there. It's never going to end. So then I wrote down, so when you found out that your hours were being cut because of your high risk pregnancy, you did nothing to help yourself? You called no one? Then she said she deleted her GoFundMe because she felt bad about asking people for money, but you don't mind doing it on TikTok. What's the difference? Then she said her baby daddy's family doesn't care if she is homeless. But you laid down and and got pregnant again. It's okay, Joanne. Take care of yourself. I am posting my lives on YouTube if anybody would like to watch them. So can't keep up, can't get up early. Take care of you, your mental, spiritual, emotional health. We'll still be here. No worries. If you guys would like to do a daily heart me, please do. TikTok recognizes that behind the scenes. They actually tell me how many I have. They then tell me how many people are active and how many people like don't do it within, I think it's like 7 days or something like that. They keep track of it all. When I tell you the analytics are crazy behind the scenes, they're crazy. Anyway, then she told us that she's on a month to month. She doesn't even have a lease. Yeah, Bree and Ty still don't have an apartment. They're still in a hotel. Then somebody said call CPS, and she says CPS isn't going to help. Now I'm going to say something. I learned this from somebody named Peach McIntyre, who is atrocious on this app. I mean, she's ridiculous. She makes a lot of money on this app, and then she gambles, and she chose to gamble instead of pay her rent. But she had the money. She just chose not to pay it. It was weird. But one of the things she said was that at one point, when she thought things were getting like out of control, she called CPS on herself. And what I always thought was if CPS got involved, it meant bad things. But she was like, she called CPS on herself. And when you do that, they offer services, they offer assistance. And they ended up finding her daycare for her kids so that she could go out and work. Yep, it's Digital Deceiver Shadow, all one word on YouTube if you're looking for it. Now, I'm still working on catching up. So, I think I've gotten up to March the 10th. I think that's how far I posted. But don't worry, I'm getting to it all. Soon it'll be I go live, I download it, and it's up. So that you have it on the same day. I'm getting there. Some of them think that CPS getting called on them is a flex because every time they don't have their children taken, they feel like they've proved something to us. No, CPS is not interested in just separating families. That's not their first mission. Their first mission is to keep families together so that they help with resources. They help with whether it's daycare or they find the resource that you need to keep your family together. It's only when there are egregious things happening that they take the kids away. But what Peach McIntyre was saying was that CPS isn't always there to just take your children. So when someone made that recommendation to her and said they wouldn't help, it depends. It depends. But if you don't have food in your house for your child and someone calls CPS and says she's begging on the internet for money to feed her child, CPS might come in and bum rush you for sure. But I didn't realize that about CPS. I had no idea. So then she logged off because she got frustrated because A, she wasn't getting money, and B, people were asking legitimate questions like, show us the electric bill. One person was like, I don't believe you're pregnant, and she pulled up ultrasounds. I don't know if she is or she isn't. I think she says she's due in August, so she might not even really be showing a lot, but it's, to me, it's not a flex that you're actually pregnant because you're pregnant by the same bum that you had your first baby with. So, okay. She came back angry that people won't help her. But then I wrote, but people have been helping her for a long time. Why did you choose to wait until it was all standing on top of you? Now, there have been times that I've buried my head in the sand. Like, life is lifing too much and I can't do anything more. But not when it was going to affect my child. If my child wasn't going to be in a safe, comfortable situation, I did what I had to do. And this is where I wrote down, why is telling the truth considered bullying or being negative? Mods, get it together, because telling the truth, asking pointed questions is not being negative. If you want somebody to help you, you need to be able to stand there and take it. Be prepared to answer the questions. Because you certainly aren't getting any money from me unless I'm satisfied that what you're asking for and what I have are compatible. And that me doing it is actually going to make a difference. Now, some people were in there saying, why pay your light bill if you're getting evicted? That's stupid. That's a stupid question. How's she going to feed her kid? All the food in her refrigerator goes bad. How does her kid keep the iPad on? He's autistic. He needs things to be consistent. Stupid question. And then I wrote down, if every suggestion is rejected, it's a red flag. She can't show the bill. And then she did another scammer classic. If everybody in here sent $1, I would have it. Really? That's your answer? Then she logged off and came back, and she was mad at us again. And I wrote down, we didn't do it, nor are we responsible. If you ask for help, you need to remain patient. You can't get mad because people aren't helping you right away. She logged off and came back, and by then I was done. Now, do I know if she got the $175? I don't know. I guess we'll find out today if she logs on. If everybody just sends $1, I'd have. You know who's good for that? Mark Russell, the Nick Wright account, which I haven't seen him lately. I think he might be going live on Instagram because he stopped getting help on TikTok. So now I'm about to do the last person. Now, she, in my opinion, isn't a scammer beggar. She is a liar. And I have avoided them for a long time. But this one in particular gets on my nerves. This is Gabby, one of the twins. Let me find my notes. Did I even take any? I don't even know if I took any notes. Let me see. Oh, yes, I sure did. Of course I did. Right. I just changed the picture. Please tap, fill the heart's tail, and then take a break. Thank you for the heart me. And everybody else who did heart me's today, thank you. And if you just joined today, thank you. If you think that I bring value to this conversation, please join the team, like the live. And for anybody who isn't aware, I do accept gifts while I do this because in my estimation, it shows that you value what I do in my time. I then exchange those and give them to other people on the app who I think are doing the right thing. They're standing on the right side of the wrong street. But they are not required, they are not necessary, but they show me appreciation. That's it, that's all. And then I turn around and bless other people. So now, Gabby. Yesterday's deplorable for me was early in the day, and it was all about her son. She uses her son's autism diagnosis, and I do that in air quotes because somebody sent me information about her on Facebook where she said that he was never actually diagnosed with autism. He was diagnosed with like a delay in speech, an inability to like control his emotions, but she never said he was actually diagnosed with autism. Now, could he have been diagnosed since that point? Maybe, but he has some sort of a delay, and she uses that as her content when she can. So yesterday, she started off that when I saw her, she started off with her son is autistic and he is accustomed to the routine of, getting up, getting dressed, going to school, coming home. They have playtime, they have dinner. She gives him a bath every other day. He goes to bed and they start again. And that this week is spring break for him. So it's like off kilter. He's off kilter because the schedule isn't the same. Now, I'm going to tell you why that pissed me off. It pissed me off because if his schedule changes, so should yours. If he's home, why are you on TikTok Live? Why aren't you doing something with him that's productive? I even have to give Cece credit because she did something with her son that I thought was adorable. She got like this board and he had to match the colors. Why are you on TikTok Live? I know you're accustomed to doing that while he's in school, but while he's not in school, why aren't you taking him to a museum? Like, why aren't you following his pattern? So if he's accustomed to getting up and getting dressed and leaving the house, then do that. Even if it's not school, take him to see a movie. Even if he can't watch the whole thing, take him to the movies. Take him to a museum. Take him to an aquarium. Take him to a zoo. Take him to like one of those indoor play parks. Take him to a park outside. Get him up, get him dressed, get him fed, and get him out the door. But no, you need to sit on TikTok. And then when people were making suggestions, of course, she's the expert on autism, right? So she pulls out the one book that she says she has on autism that informs her of everything she needs to know. And of course, she always puts stuff on doctors or speech therapists. Well, that's what the speech therapist said, so they have to be wrong for me to be wrong. But let me show you something, sweetheart. Let me show you something. Here are this is 2 books on autism and a website that provides a magazine every month to autism parents or parents of children with autism. It's a magazine that comes out once a month. And they will give you 1 month for free. Your 1 book on autism does not cover everything. This is about parenting a child with autism. This one over here is about managing meltdowns and tantrums for autism on the spectrum, because autism is a spectrum. Some of them are high functioning, some of them are completely delayed. Let's find some more real quick. Here are 2 more. This one has 101 tips for parents of boys with autism. This one is what your autistic child wants you to know and how you can help them. So miss me with the 1 book. There are plenty. You can Google it. You can co-pilot it. You could chat GBT it. But don't pull out your 1 book and then claim you're an expert. Don't do it. That's not going to work for me. Then she was trying to explain to everybody the difficulty she has with him with certain things. So, one thing she talked about was having a difficult time bringing him to the bathroom. That she hasn't been able to get him potty trained. The school hasn't been able to get him potty trained. And this is my thing. That's not the school's responsibility. It's yours. But what seems to me with Gabby is that she's like the rest of them. Well, I tried a couple of times. It didn't work. So whatever. So people were in the comments trying to give her suggestions, right? And this is thing number 2 that pissed me off. So if you know how your child is going to react to that, why would you do it for TikTok? Why? So what does she do? She picks him up, drags him to the bathroom after asking him if he had to use the bathroom multiple times. And he kept saying, no, 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 no. She picks him up, drags him into the bathroom with his iPad while we hear him cry and moan and be in what felt like agony. And we were all listening to this just to prove a point. What's wrong with you? Why do we need to hear your child in distress so you could prove a point? And then she talked about the fact that she was having a hard time getting him to brush his teeth. And she said, like, I used a soft brush, a harder brush. I bought brushes that had characters on them, whether it was like the Hulk or Jimmy Neutron, whatever the thing she was saying. And then she said, we even tried like a thing where you would say like, okay, take out the toothbrush. And he would plaster that. Yes, he did that. Then put toothpaste on the toothbrush. On and on and on until he brushed his teeth. She said nothing worked. Let me show you something, Gabby. So for children or adults who have a texture issue, there are plenty of products on the shelves that help with that. So the top left one is where you hold the one thing, you put the whole thing in your mouth, almost like a teether, turn it on, and it will brush all the teeth at the same time. There's a fuzzy brush, which is like you bite on it and it cleans your teeth. This one, Kids Not Brushing Tooth Sparkles, you chew it and it cleans your teeth. The one on the right, second column, is the kind of toothbrush that does the whole tooth at once. So it does the left, the top, and the right of the tooth all at the same time, so that it takes less time to brush. And the Ico is where you put a little thing on the tip of your finger and you rub it around your mouth.
Excuse me for interrupting.
No
Hey
problem.
Meredith. Hey Meredith. I think you have something you would like to say. Can you please box up?
What did Meredith have to say?
Why am I saying you're way too nosy? As you speak and you ask for gifts off there. I'm going to drop it. I'll pin it for you. I'm going to drop it. I'll pin it.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this to you, like I said earlier. If you don't want me in your business, stop putting it on the internet. The internet is forever. How am I nosy watching what you put on the internet? You show the world your lifestyle. How is that being nosy? And not for nothing, but I am showing you that there are alternatives to the things you say. So that the people who get in her live and think, oh my goodness, and it must be so hard. She does not use her options that are available to her. She stops at whatever she thinks it should be. And what I said is this so people can see, so that people can see the chat. Because I know y'all don't like it. And what I just said about the gifts was that gifts were appreciated, not necessary. And what I do with those gifts is I exchange them to gift other people. And I'm not making big money on TikTok. I'm not even making TikTok money because I don't have enough followers to even be in the creator fund. So what are you talking about? What I am saying, you are way too nosy. And as you speak, you ask for gifts off there. This is clearly your first time. This is clearly your first time. Thank you. Thank you. This is clearly your first time. And you're being intellectually dishonest because I said they are appreciated, not necessary. And then what I do with them. Ma'am, what's the problem? And if you have the voice to type it in the chat, come in the box and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. But I think you see the comments going so fast that you think that you could just say something like that, screenshot it, and share it with your friends. But instead of worrying about the fact that she's exposing her child to the entire internet, you want to come here and tell me I'm nosy. Ma'am, if I broke into her house and got in her cameras, watched her, and then came on here and talked about it, I'd be too nosy. If I went to her child's school and asked them questions and came back here, then I'm being too nosy. But if you put something on the internet for the world to see, how is that me being nosy? I am strictly reporting on what I see and hear her do. Somebody make that make sense. Nikki is here. Right, Nikki. I actually said that a few seconds ago. That somebody sent me screenshots of her on Facebook saying that he was diagnosed with a few things, but he was never diagnosed with autism. Her words. I don't know, Sandy, but I don't subscribe to that. If I see you do something deplorable, I'm going to talk about it. Everybody else can have a blackout. That's on them. Because to me, all they do is allow her to spew more nonsense and not get covered. I do what I do on my platform. I don't tell anybody else what to do on theirs, and nobody can tell me what to do on mine. So, I was showing for anybody who may have children with autism or grandchildren or cousins or whatever, if somebody needed it, 9 times out of 10, it's there's something developed already. And let me give you the gag. If you come across something that you find that you need that's not already on the marketplace, you're a genius, because then you can create it and make millions. That's the gag of it all. And let me tell you, this is what's so crazy, and this is how far back things go for me. So when I was like 22, 23, I worked for General Electric. I was a secretary for the finance division of GE Investments. And GE Investments were taking the employees' 401ks and managing them. That's one of the things they did, right? And I was a secretary in the finance division. There was a gentleman who was in the mailroom. He was head of the mailroom. And when the military was looking to try to reduce the weight of the go bags that they wear, they were trying to find minuscule changes to reduce the weight. His brother is the one who came up with the finger toothbrush and sold it to the military. So when I first looked for it, I thought of that immediately. I thought of it immediately and was like, well, if that's an alternative, there must be others specific to autism. It was a Google search. But what she likes to do is claim 1 or 2 or 3 things she's done and she gives up. She's tried everything, nothing has worked, so I don't care what you have to say. But when you come up against somebody like me who loves to research, you can miss me with that. Because if my child was autistic, I would be researching every day. While he's at school, instead of being on TikTok, I'd be researching how to care for my child. And I wouldn't make that child's progress somebody else's responsibility. And guess what? She could even go live. And why don't you go live and show us the research you're doing to benefit your child? That's content. Not you writing nonsense on your face and dancing and doing splits in your backyard and dancing and singing to songs. You want to utilize your lifestyle to educate, to improve, to have quality content, do that. Show us that you do that for your child. Instead of hurting him to prove a point. And if there's something you don't want me to talk about, don't put it on the internet. Because once it's here, it is fair game. It's fair use. You've put it on the internet. That would be like me saying to somebody, don't quote me. Don't ever repeat anything that I say. Excuse me? I done said it. It's on the internet. You can say, Digital said XYZ. That's like me saying to you, you can't ever say anything I say. How does that make sense? So me watching her myself, taking notes, then doing research is being nosy. Well, then my nose is long. It stretches the entire East Coast. I'll be nosy then. Like that hurts my feelings. There are support groups. There's anything. She could create a support group for parents with children with autism and do that and research and share. But instead, she chose to show us. And then, let's get back to what happened. Then, while he was playing on his tablet, she aggravated him. Skip. If you don't want him on that channel, explain to him calmly why that channel is inappropriate. Block it from his YouTube or whatever he was on. I think it was YouTube. So that he can't even get there. But instead of taking the parental route of how to handle it, she was just saying, skip. And he would be like, no. And then she'd take it from him and skip it and give it back to him and be annoyed. And I saw what somebody said, be careful with what, I think she said Sonic. I researched it and it might not be good for him. But Gabby was too busy with her eyes closed to pay attention. She was so annoyed and aggravated. How are you that annoyed and aggravated at your own child for being who he is? And then, of course, she called him nonverbal, but we heard him talk. Now, he is delayed. And in some settings, they will call that nonverbal because he doesn't have the level of language he should. But he is not strictly nonverbal. Nonverbal is not being coherent in your language at all. He knows how to say no. He knows how to say mom and dad and stuff like that. Is it at the level he should be? No. But he's delayed. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hey, girl, you have spoken. You have hit the nail on the head. My daughter is a behavior specialist. And so, like, she has a passion for all these kids. Everything you've said is 100% correct. You know what? This individual, I have watched her, and I literally have to get off of her panel. I mean, not her panel, but her page. Like, I cannot watch her because she infuriates me. And it's not because she's a mom who doesn't have all the answers. None of us did raising our kids. Come on. But there are answers out there. And there is help out there. And she does just enough, if you watch her, enough to get by. Okay, so once she gets him off, she has no self-regulation about herself. I think she may be bipolar myself. I'm not real sure. She hasn't said that, but she has her highs and she has her lows, and highs and lows. And I've told her many times, Gabby, please get off this app and tend to your family, tend to your household. She has no routine. If she kept that routine digital, if she kept that routine every day, she wants us to think that she's coming in there. She throws all these things in a crock pot. Then she goes, lays on her bed. And then and then she bitches about her husband or Aaron when he gets in. And she aggravates that child. And that is not being a good parent.
It's
Now,
not.
I'm an advocate for people with learning disabilities or anybody else, that needs some help. But she's not doing her part, nor does she want to, because she's too busy trying to be cute here on the ticky-tacky. That's the bottom line, and she's lazy as fuck.
Correct. And what got me is someone was like, "You look so beautiful today." What? Like that's what you're focused on instead of watching her aggravate her child to no end and then clearly be aggravated by it?
Well,
Why are
she
you doing that in front of your child?
Yeah. Well, and she sits on there, and okay, no marriage is hunky dory. And when you have a child with special needs or they're struggling, okay, I respect that. I understand that. But you are exactly correct when get off your ass and do something about it. There are resources out there. There are parenting groups out there. But she doesn't want to get herself together enough. All she wants to do is think she's all cute. And then, she hit her eye on the side of a TV. Oh, she did this. It's all for the show and empathy and empathy. If she wanted to be a good parent, get the hell off of TikTok. Allow yourself an hour here in the morning, an hour in the evening. Get your house together. If I was that old man with her, oh my Lord, honey, let me tell you, not that he is just, I don't even know anything about him. I'm not going to say nothing negative about him. I'm sure I look for the golden nugget in everybody. But I'm telling you, I have not found it in this individual, Gabby. And she bitches about Aaron. And then she wants to disrespect him and roll her eyes and make comments. If he tries to decorate, if he tries to move furniture, if he tries to help her, it's never good enough, Well, after a while, hell, anybody's going to give up. They're tired of her bullshit,
Right. I agree. I
Yeah,
absolutely
and
agree.
she is not doing her child any service, and so I don't want to hear about her complaining and carrying on, because there are advocacy groups out the kazoo that will help her and whatnot, but she is too lazy to take advantage of those resources and put herself as a woman, a grown ass woman that laid in that bed and made them babies. Okay, them that child, and she trying to make more. Listen. If you want to be a grown woman, act grown up. Do grown up folk stuff and get your ass a routine and get off of TikTok.
I agree. Good morning,
Well,
B.
like I said, I have to swipe off that page because it's just, I call it small mindedness, because I'm almost 60 years old and I've had enough bullshit in my life to last. But I raised two fully productive young ladies who know how to take care of themselves, and one of them, and I have a 1-year-old grandbaby, and her mother's does what she needs to do to put her first. And so all I can tell Gabby is get your ass off TikTok.
Correct. I agree. Or at least make it productive. At least
At
make
least,
it productive.
yeah,
Because
go an
I
hour
wrote
when he
down,
goes, yeah.
I wrote down, she is so effing dramatic. Like, how are you going to be equally as dramatic as your child and expect your child not to be dramatic? It doesn't make sense. Good morning, Breezy B.
Good morning.
Okay.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I've been watching Gabby the last 5 days, and every day she's talked about this so-called miscarriage that she's had
Yeah.
and how her and Aaron are trying to have another baby. But I wanted to ask you if you watched her
You're
live
breaking
last
up.
night.
No, she's not breaking up for me. Go ahead, Breezy.
Okay, did you watch her live last night where she was saying how her and Aaron were trying for a baby, and then her son was just being him normal self, and she like slapped her hands in front of his face? Did you guys see that or hear it?
I did not watch her last night. I had other things going on. So tell me about it. I said people could come up and talk about it. But what let me just say this for people who weren't here on Wednesday, I went over what a chemical pregnancy was and why I didn't believe her because with a chemical pregnancy, yes, once it has to be in the first 5 weeks, but your HCG doesn't drop to zero as soon as you have it. It actually has to come down over time, which is why I did not believe the story. Because, but I
No
think
one
she said
believes her.
things like, I think she said things like chemical pregnancy to use medical terms to be like, how would I know what a chemical pregnancy was if the doctor didn't tell me? So I don't believe the miscarriage story, and only her sycophants do. But go ahead, Breezy. Tell us about what happened last night.
So her son, he just honestly, he just wanted attention, and I guess it was irritating her. And she's like, "I told you no," and she like slapped her hand so loud it pissed me off because I have a 4-year old, and her claiming that he's autistic and delayed and all this stuff. But I'm like, you don't even know how to treat him. You're talking to him like he's just some strange kid that you're babysitting, and you could tell it upset him. And he was like, "Mom, mom, mom." Like he wanted attention so bad, and she was just not giving it to him at all.
No, because TikTok is more important.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
that letter that she's showing about her chemical pregnancy or whatever she wants to call it, it just says the that she had taken a home pregnancy test that said positive. It never confirmed that she was pregnant in the first place.
Right. And
Screenshot
that's
it.
why HCG was
She's
100.
just an attention whore. That's what she is.
Oh,
Yeah.
she definitely loves the attention. And it's why she gets into it with her sister. That used to be what brought her all the attention was the drama with her sister. But since that has slowed down, it is now what's happening within her own household. And I don't understand people who can sit there for hours and watch her and support her and act like what she does is correct. Like if
It's
that's a real
abusive.
friend, call her out. That's a real friend. Well, a real friend is someone who could look you in your face and say, "I love you, but what I think you're doing is wrong." That's a real friend. Otherwise, you're a sycophant. Hold on, guys. Let me welcome in. Good morning, Cooking with Crime. Did you mean to come up, Gypsy Soul?
I can drop if you need some room,
Yes, I'm
digital.
here. I'm here.
No, I don't need any room.
So I
Okay,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
just touch base on what you guys were talking about. It kept connecting to my car radio. I hate it. Anyways, she said she had that the hospital don't do DNCs. She has to wait. Well, that's a lie. Also, I had a miscarriage back in 2011, and before I knew it, I woke up and had already had a DNC. They admit you, and they take you straight to surgery. If you need a DNC. But she said that her doctor told her that they would have to schedule her DNC.
Right, there's nothing to
But
DNC.
right, she said they do not do DNCs at the hospital. And my mouth just hit the floor. I'm like, well, where the heck do they do them?
Right. And the other thing is, if that's the case, she would still be talking about it. She would still be
Right,
talking about it every day. Oh, they
and
said,
her levels would still be high.
right, exactly. And so the question is, um, even if let's follow her logic. Even if they said that they're not going to do it, you have to schedule it. She would know what it was by now. She would know the schedule because they can't
Yes,
just leave it there forever because it can
Exactly.
actually become necrotic and give her more problems. So she would already know the date and she'd be talking about it. Now, of course, let's bear in mind that I'm over almost 600 people. I guarantee you some of her sycophants are here. And within the day or two, she'll be talking about the date. Because they love to do that. They
oh
love
Yeah.
yeah,
to
we
try
just
to
gave
repeat
her
what I'm
something to go
saying.
off of.
Right. But we
Yeah.
didn't know all
I'm
about
telling y'all, she is discombobulated, and it's just a matter of time. She let me tell you, when I say AB abusive, she is abusive to that little boy. She is not a good parent to him. And
Nope.
I'm tired of looking at it. It hurts my heart because all he does is want a little bit of attention. And she could put that phone down and go be a mother, for God's sake.
Well, she's stressed out too because she has him all day. And instead of create going for activities that would wear him out, even if he can only go for a little while, because again, I understand that autistic children aren't always in the mood for everything. But you have to try. If you never do it,
Yes.
how are they going to learn? If you want to take a child out to dinner and you want them to behave, you got to do that at home first. Everybody has to sit down at the table at home. They got to get accustomed to sitting down long enough to do it. If you want them to go to the movies and pay attention, you do a movie night at home and you get the popcorn and the candy and the pop and you turn the lights off and you put a movie on and then you take them to the movies. And if they
Yeah.
can't last,
Action
you
steps.
leave, but you do stuff with them. You don't sit at home on the internet and expect them to understand. But you do
Exactly.
it all for empathy, for sympathy, for all of it. Hold on, somebody else wants to come up. He's not in school. Oh, you got dropped. I'm sorry if you got dropped. He's not in school this week because
Okay.
of spring break. So that's why he's home and she can't handle it.
Okay, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yep, I can hear
I
you
don't know
now.
if you know this, digital, but back, I tried to be Gabby's friend, and I was a mod for her probably about right around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I have a son who is nonverbal, non-mobile, has a feeding tube, has oxygen 24/7,
I'm sorry.
like severely special needs. Don't be sorry. I get to see the world through his eyes, and it is beautiful.
I
And
I agree.
Yes. Amen. Yes, baby.
yes, and he is also autistic. I sat on a live in a box with her, sent her the push buttons to record his 6 favorite things, cup, whatever, for him to press. Because at this time he was not in school and saying many words. I sat in a box with her for over 3 hours, and I talked with her for over a month. And do you know that she done this for like 3 days with him, and that was it.
What?
Yep.
And she expects him
She
to
has no
learn?
And so
follow through.
I said, I'm done. But,
Go ahead,
yep.
Gypsy. I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yep. But
I'm
I know a
sorry
lot of
that
people
she
on here
wasted
can
her
vouch for
time.
that because they remember that. Yeah, Kerm says she remembers that. But I sat in that box, and I mean, I even helped her download sign language apps that reminded you to take daily lessons, because I think everybody should learn sign language.
Yeah, I do. And
And there
my
is a sign language
granddaughter
app.
is learning sign language.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think everybody should learn it, the basics at least. But there's an app that starts with the basic things like cup, drink, whatever. But it reminds you daily to do your task to learn those 5 words.
What is the
So that
name of
was
the
something
app?
they
Do
could
you
do
know?
together.
Do you know what the
So
app is?
I don't remember the name of it, but I have it on my phone. But it's going to be the white and blue one. It's the only white and blue sign language app. So if
Okay.
you'll put in sign language app lessons free, it's going to be blue and white.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to get up here and let you know that, because I don't think I've ever told you that. But a
No.
lot of people in the chat are saying they remember that. But I tried my best
Yes.
to work with her.
Well, that just reiterates everything that Digital's saying and all the rest of us, and exactly affirmation of what you shared. You have tried. You took your personal time away from your own child and your own family to try to assist her, and she was so inconsistent that she couldn't do that for 72 hours. and then she abandoned it.
Yep.
Now that let you know how much she's invested in her child because everything's all about
And
her.
I also tried to break it down to her. I don't want no sympathy. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me when I say this, okay? In the past month and a half, my son has been on life support 3 times for over a week because his muscles are not strong enough to expand his lungs when he gets a tiny cold.
Right.
A tiny cold that we look over could be the end for him. I tried to explain to her the things you are taking for granted. I would give anything to hear any sound from my child's voice. The things you are taking for granted, the things you are getting mad at, and the things you are missing out on, you are going to regret. And I hope you do.
What'd she say?
Nothing. Because that was when I told her I was done. I was with her. I was throwing my hands up. So she didn't reply back.
Of course
Of
not.
course, you have to put those boundaries in place, or those people will suck you dry. And just like Digital said today, she took the time to go and look at the different books. You know, Gabby, has one
I
book.
sent her 10 touch and feel books.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Have y'all ever seen in her home where she has a comfort spot that's his, that has like a fuzzy seat, that has things that, he can pet and touch that are, does she have him set up a sensory room or a sensory corner so that when he gets upset, she can take him to that?
Because
no, I
have recommended that. Because my son has a whole sensory room. And when he gets overstimulated, I take him in there and I let him stim. I told her about toothbrushes. That is the best thing for stimming. I told her about the stem necklaces at Walmart. Lights, anything. My son can't have flashing lights, but he can have the lights that look like the galaxy because he has seizures. But he has his own sensory room, and when he gets stimulated, he has seizures. So I take him in his sensory room, and I leave him be. I watch him on the camera, and he calms down.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, my daughter's a specialist in that field too, a behavioral specialist, and that is one of the first things Gabby should have for him is a sensory corner and room, but to decompress him and help him out and comfort him and just soothe him. But no, like Digital said, she's clapping in his face, rolling her eyes, and acting just like an idiot of a parent. And that is exactly what she's doing. She should be ashamed of herself. And anyone who's supporting her behavior, shame on y'all.
Facts.
And I'm going to say this last thing, then I'm going to hop down. But I do think Cam might be on the low autistic spectrum. I don't think he has high autism. I just think he needs attention and worked with. But even being low on the spectrum, special needs kids have to have structure and routine or nothing is going to work. My son is still on his newborn schedule. By 6 o'clock, he is in the bed. 5 o'clock, he knows it's bath time. That is newborn schedule, and he just turned 14.
Wow. Well, I want to say to you, Gypsy Soul, you are an amazing mother. You are
I'll second
that. Thank you.
You are an amazing advocate, and do not let her nonsense discourage you.
Because absolutely not. I just feel sorry for that little boy.
I do too. And
well, it's a matter of time.
As long as y'all.
Those authorities are going to get involved. The older he gets, if some changes aren't made, I'm telling you, that's a fact right there.
You're probably right.
Anyways, have a good day, Grammy and Digital and Chat.
You too, dog.
And I will talk with y'all and see y'all.
Okay, I friended you on here, okay?
All right, I'll friend you back. Bye, Digital.
Okay.
Bye. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Hey, Digital, I'm going to drop down and let you continue on unless you have any other question or anything come up. But I support you 100%. You're very wise and very smart. And I just thank you for everything you do here, because you're bringing awareness, and for people to comment about money and how much y'all make. Y'all don't make jack shit for all the hours of research and work that you do.
Facts.
So that's a bunch of crap. And I'm not even listening to that nonsense. And whoever speaks that is just talking out of both sides of their mouth, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I appreciate the support. And yes, like I tell you all the time, I do not wake up on the morning and just think, who am I going to talk about? It takes hours behind the scenes of watching for myself, doing research,
Absolutely.
verifying.
You're doing your research so that you have facts and you have your information, and you are, because you know that you are putting it out there to the world, and you have a reputation, and everybody knows that you keep a clean, truthful reputation, and your word is your word.
I try. I appreciate you recognizing that. I really
I certainly do. I certainly do. I certainly do, and I appreciate all you do. Listen, y'all have a blessed day out there, everybody on Digital's panel here, and then thank you, Digital, for all you do. You'll have a good evening, and I'll be talking to you soon, doll.
thank you. I appreciate it. I love your spirit. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And you
thank
have a
you. I do
wonderful
yours
day.
too, baby.
Thank you.
Okay.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye bye, honey.
Bye.
Hey, Digital.
Good
Hey,
morning.
everyone. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. We do appreciate you. I do want to take time to say that because you make all the chaos manageable, like all your little notebooks over there, and then we get to hear the cat. We get to, hear your funniness, and just you're amazing. You're the only
Thank
one on
you.
this app that's actually holding these people accountable, making us go in there and see for ourselves. We can't be giving money to these people. It's not fair. But
Facts.
I do want to say about Gabby, because I've been watching her for 4 years, my
Mm.
friend and I, and it's tough to say, like, somebody, we know she's a narcissist, okay? And I'm not ever going to expect an apology from Gabby on here. Her pride is very strong. And I can honestly say that she is a bad mother because it consists of neglect. And she is neglecting Cameron in a emotional way. Um, like with her arrogance, it's not helping him whatsoever.
Nope.
She's harming him emotionally. She's letting him watch, YouTube. And somebody said it in her chat the other day, and she said, Cameron, let me see your iPad. She went on there and looked, but nothing changed. She said, I'm going to raise him the way I want to raise him, and you raise your kids the way you want to raise them, and leave me the hell alone. Well, why? So you're getting such great advice from women who have fucked up, moms who have special need kids, moms who have lost their kids, had miscarriage. You get a story from everybody in here. You have support behind you. If you would actually get some help, and I'm going to tell you, Gabby, I hope that you're listening, because I'm going to tell you, and anybody else, you can call 988, you can talk to a counselor, you can tell them you're emotionally going through something. You don't have to be one unaliving, but I can see the pressure on you, and it's affecting Cameron. So I don't know what we're going to do to change it besides do a blackout. So we did a blackout where, nobody was going into her room. Her numbers are 1,300 every day. So she had about 490 at the end, and she stayed on till probably 2 a.m. She knew about the blackout. She straightened her hair for the blackout. She got really nervous at first, and she was like, "Oh my," and went on sub only. That's a problem because you have like 2,000 subscribers or 200 of them. Like, you're making money. You can't make over $2,000 for your Social Security. It's not going to work. So
Right.
then she's like, "What do I do now? Fuck it. Let me just do my thing." She's famous now. But dancing in the garage and doing all those things, you're missing an opportunity. So many people had ideas in here, like make sock puppets and you know go outside, try gardening, let them grow something. But she doesn't want to take any of the advice. So the only thing we can do is maybe the blackout. You probably think it's stupid, Gabby, that but I'm telling you, this is what's happening. You have people putting billboards up on you, okay, around your town. You're
That's
saying where
true.
your child is. You say you're going to Sky Zone, you say which Walmart you're going to be at. It's dangerous out there. I'm going to tell you, you're playing a very dangerous game. If thousands of people don't agree with you, do you know what their mental state is? I'm
Right.
not sure, because I would be concerned that somebody would be so mad that I did all these things and didn't apologize. A public fucking apology tour is what you need to do. And then you need to get some help. And getting help is not a bad thing, Gabby. We can see that you're stressed. We can see what you go through with Cameron. We see that it is not easy because you are taking the hard road. If you would just listen and know that these mothers want the best for Cameron and for you and your family. So, the best advice you're ever going to get is from us. And,
Right. And let me
you know,
just say this. This is what makes us, this is what separates us from bullying. Bullying would want her to, would want to see her down and want to see her stay there. I didn't say just you only have one book and you should have more. I actually looked it up and looked up the best books for autism for toddlers.
yes, that was great. And the
And
toothbrush
so,
thing, great.
right, and the toothbrush thing, because I want to show you that with a little bit of effort, you could change the outcome. But if you put in nothing, you can't expect to get anything. And that's where she is. She wants everything to be done by other people for her so that she can sit back and then take the credit for it.
Oh, yeah.
So she commits me with all of it. Now that you are on my radar, I will be watching and I'm going to report on you because, again, is she a scammer? Not in the traditional sense, but she is a liar. And when I find a mother or father not doing right by their child, welcome to my platform.
Oh,
Welcome to my
well.
platform because I'm going to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for coming up. Does
Yeah.
anybody else want to come up since it's open mic? There's 6 more minutes. You don't have to leave, by the way. Oh, Mexican homie's covering her
Well,
tomorrow.
I definitely
Okay.
do want to tell you about the blackout, and the accounts are fearless_15.
Okay.
You can follow me. I go into another,
I think I'm following you already.
yeah, and then also Feisty and Villain, follow them. Keep an eye out. We all want the best for Gabby at the end of the day, and that's the hardest part is sitting back and watching her fail over and over and over again. It's literally insanity at this point. So, you got to take action. And we're
Yep.
doing it. Everybody was doing it. We kept over 1,000 people out of her room.
Nice.
So, all right, I'm gonna hop out of here. I wish the best for
Okay.
everyone. Happy Friday. It was good to talk to you.
It was good to talk to you too. Thank you for coming up. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. My pleasure. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're making a difference.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope so. Good morning.
Good morning. I was wondering, is there any way people can buy the books for her to help her?
This is the problem with that, Joanne. If you buy it for her, A, she doesn't have to take any accountability. She ends up not having to do anything because this is what she expects other people to do it for her. And then if you spend your hard earned money and send her a book and she doesn't use it, how will you feel?
That's true. That's true. I was just thinking about the little boy getting the help, and
Right,
maybe
but
she'll read it
but
to
even
him.
if she gets the book, she has to be active. She had, and the
Right.
books that I did were not for him, they were for her. They were for her to
To
help him.
teach him. Yeah, to teach him.
Right. No. Not so much that. They were books for parents of children with autism. It would be her
Oh, okay.
having to read them to learn about strategies she may not do. Now, books for him would be great, but again, it would have to be something that his father or his mother did with him to even enjoy and understand. I
Okay, I
want
understand what you're saying
her
now.
to do something.
Right. I have a disabled child, and we went through last week. We went through, a very hard time,
I'm sorry.
and we're working. So far, we've had 3 great days. But I work with him 24/7.
Right. You're a good mother. And you want, regardless of whatever delay they may have, you want the time that they are here to be as great as you can make it. And if
Right.
you get 3 good days, guess what? You feel blessed.
I do. I do, to get the 3. But my child's different. He don't have autism. He's a meth baby,
Oh, okay.
and it's tolling, really tolling.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But when you get them days that are really, really good, you're so happy.
Right.
And Digital, I love what you do. I love how you
Oh,
do your platform.
thank you.
Sometimes I have to watch it at night, but because I had surgery and I'm in and out of sleep. But I appreciate you a whole lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And hopefully soon I'll be all caught up with uploading. I'm getting faster because I'm learning how to do things,
Right.
and I'm trying to be consistent with how I do it. But
But
thank
you have a life too.
yeah.
I totally understand. That's all I wanted to say. I thought it would be something she would actually use and try to teach him to do things.
Yeah, no, she gets money.
I don't know her myself. I haven't seen her.
Yeah. Check her out though. Because
I will.
people understand what we mean.
Hey,
That's why
Joanne.
Yes.
I'm sorry to set you. I did not mean to cut you off, but the thing with buying things for Cam, even the Christmas presents that they bought him, they've returned for the money. So that's an
Oh
issue with
my
her.
goodness. See, I didn't know
So,
that.
and if you order stuff off Amazon, you can return it at Walmart.
Hmm.
So she returned this big old race car that was remote control or motorcycle that it was his big Christmas gift, their birthday gift. She returned it 3 weeks later.
Then that's whenever CPS needs to be involved, because of the fact that that's not right. That is
Well, when
traumatizing a
they're
child.
coming, she will go and buy a bunch of toys to make it look like he has a bunch of toys. And after they leave and it's closed, she sells them.
So are they notifying her that they're coming?
Yeah,
They're
they
not
call her.
doing
She
that.
knows when they're
No,
coming.
no, they're not supposed to do that.
Nope. But she'll tell you when they're coming, and sure enough, they come.
No, that's not how they work. They're She's got some connection in there then.
I think it's Mimi.
Yeah, there's some
But
connection in there.
I just wanted to let everybody know I
So
would love.
best
I've
thing
sent
is
him
not to
so
buy
many
anything for
things.
him.
Yeah, she knows
Yeah,
every
I've
time.
sent him so much stuff.
She knows every
Yeah.
time CPS goes because she stays on her live. Listen, like a week or two ago, do y'all remember when she had her live still going and she had that woman sitting on her couch and she was prepping the woman on what to say for when CPS got there. She did all of that on live.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
see, this is
Yeah, she was cleaning.
no.
She knew that they were coming, so she was cleaning. She had a woman over there helping her clean, and she literally was on her live, not paying any attention to any of us. And she was going through, I guess, some kind of book or something that she has to read, and prepping the woman that was at her house. And I'm like, what the fuck? What
No,
the
that
fuck?
By the way, TikTok now has a community guideline around engagement. I reported her when she stopped paying attention to the chat. If
Yeah,
you go
absolutely.
in and you see her not engaging with the chat, report it. And when enough, and it might not come down, they might say there's no violation. Just report her enough so that when it
Yes.
happens, TikTok is notified.
Listen, if I had a child her
Oh,
age,
wait,
I
excuse
would
me.
not have
Wait,
that
wait, wait.
child all over
Wait.
TikTok.
Wait. She's here. Let's welcome her in.
Hello.
Good
Hello.
morning.
Good morning.
Good
How are you?
morning.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Let me tell you something. Hang on, Bubba. I know it's okay, Bubba. I know. Mommy has to take care of this. Um,
You don't have wait. You don't have to. You
no,
should go
I
pay
do.
attention to
No, I
him.
do. No, I do.
Go pay
You need
attention
to
No,
to him.
I
Honey, why don't
do.
you
listen to your
take care of
boy.
the child and then
No,
come
I
back?
do.
Guys.
Because guess
Don't.
what? CPS, guess what? CPS already knows what's going on here. And you know what? You want to keep on going. You guys have no idea what you guys are all doing. But go ahead and keep doing it. But I'm letting you know right now, this is just more things that I can add onto it. So I'm letting you know it's not a joke. Letting you know it's not a joke. It's not funny. There are people involved and someone's going to get in trouble. So back off.
Wait a minute. You must not have been here for my whole entire. Oh, she left. Of course.
Uh-huh.
That's what she
I'm
does because
afraid.
she's wrong.
I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. Because if I was afraid, I wouldn't have let you up here. But I think it's
Neither am
cute.
I. Neither am
Neither am
I
I.
because
I
if
think it's
I could go
cute.
toe to toe with that old gal, let me tell you, I would
But can
use
you
her
imagine
head
when you're on
as
a
a dust
public
mop.
app and you share your entire life with millions of people?
Right.
Yeah,
But then
I
we
mean, if
can't talk
you
about
feel
it.
it's okay what you're doing,
Come
don't get
on.
online.
When you find me, then get me in trouble. Go ahead. Somebody's gonna get in trouble.
I'm the opposite. I'll give my
Somebody,
address.
somebody. Can somebody please come forward? Because I don't know who somebody is. She acts. She's so big and bad. And like I said, you just saw her live and direct. Her child is crying for her attention, and she's like, "Wait, Bubba, I gotta take care of this." And can I ask,
Yes.
You
what
take
did you
care of
take
kids and then
care
come
of?
There's
back.
nothing more important than that child. That child is the
Yeah.
most important thing.
But what did she take care of?
Nothing. She don't take care of a damn thing.
Right. What did you? So you told me to back off. I'm not. So where are we now?
Yes. Well, you know why. And we all know it right here, right? People cannot handle the truth. When you put facts down, you put the pros and you put the cons on a piece of paper and you draw a line right down the middle, Miss Gabby, and you put the pros and the cons down. And what you're doing, the cons are way outweighing the pros that you have on this TikTok. And she needs to get off the TikTok. She's angry because you're speaking the truth. That's why she's spinning out because she wanted to get up here and bark at us. Hell, I'll give her my address. Let her come over to me. Let her
That's
find me here in Texas. I ain't got nothing to hide. I got a 100% spotless record. I ain't got a speeding ticket, you know? So
that's
let her
me
come on.
either.
But you know what? She's doing wrong. And that's why she is irritated, Digital, because you're calling her out on it. And all these ladies who have offered to help her, who have special needs, children also, and there are resources out the kazoo, and she's not taking advantage of them, and so she's irritated. So I hope we do,
And
uh,
Digital, do you
affect her
know?
funds.
Did you know that on state insurance for children, they will help you get the resources too? The
Yes,
Oh
insurance
yeah,
company.
she
Mm-hmm.
knows. She knows.
yes,
She's not ignorant to what is available to her. She doesn't want to do the work.
no, And one other thing, you can call and just say, everybody's talking about she's stressed, she's this and that. Well, hell, if she'd get off TikTok and not stay up till 2 a.m., maybe she could get some rest. And another thing, there are resources out there. You can call the number in any state and you can let them know you need some respite, you need some help, and they will they will hook you up with the resources so she can have some downtime and her child can be taken care of by appropriate, people who are certified and licensed. So
There's
I
also
ain't buying
programs.
all that
There's also
bullshit.
programs with the local church. Mommy's day out that you go and take your child and you drop them off for like 4 or 5 hours, and then you go and just have some you time.
Yes.
Yes, Hot Mess
But
Express. So sorry, I
And
jumped back up here real quick,
what's sad
Digital,
though?
because
Go ahead.
Go
Grammy
ahead.
brought up a good point. I led her, gave her all the information for the Once she took her kid out of in-home occupational and physical therapy, told them not to come back to her house. But two, I gave her all of the information to a program called CAPC that offers occupational, physical therapy, whatever they need in your
Thank
home.
you. Yes.
Nurses aid that will give you time. I did all that for her. But yes, she kicked occupational and physical therapy out of her house and told them not to come back for no reason.
That's because she's a narcissist.
When he was 3 years old.
She's a narcissist. Textbook.
But I had to get back up here and say that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know, the sad part is that she's not even going to be able to take that child to the store because everybody's going to know exactly who he is. And he's 4 years old. He's 4.
You know what the sad part is? It's not the child's fault.
No, it's not
It's
exactly
the-
at all.
And it's not the
Is she
resources.
actually
The
putting
state
him on TikTok?
offers the resources.
Yeah, she puts them on TikTok.
She was just in the box.
Oh no.
Well, keep on doing what you're doing. And ladies, I just applaud y'all. But there are resources. I know, like I said, my daughter's a behavioral specialist. And let me tell you what, she has a passion. She has a low BS tolerance for, people who won't do what's best for them. But she's an advocate. And she spends all kinds of money in the state of Texas out of her own pocket in order to buy resources, to go on Amazon, to make everything the best for her students because she loves them. You know, she does. Now, people who want to act like a goober on here, like Gabby and stuff, I'm going to tell you, she wouldn't but she points the parents to the resources. They're like this other individual said, these ladies said, their state, you can call, you can get help. So if she's spiraling out of control, that's her own fault. It's 100% her fault because there are resources. She's staying up. She cares more about TikTok than her mental health. And I want what's best for her. But I'm not going to be bullied and threatened by her when she's doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Excuse me, I just want to say something real quick. I'm in no way, shape, or form am I trying to be rude, but just for the we appreciate everybody who comes up in the boxes, but please, when Miss Digital is talking, just please don't speak over her or cut her off. Please let her speak. She should be able to express before anyone how she feels. Again, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm just trying to keep it because there's a lot of people in here. And when Gabby came up, even more came in, and it kind of got a little bit hectic there for a second. So I just wanted to come up and kind of mellow things out for a second, and just please be respectful.
Yeah, I think everybody was so excited about the fact that she was in the box that everybody wanted to have their opportunity to talk. But yeah, it's best, especially when somebody like them come in, that I do most of the talking because I do it a certain way.
Right.
Because we were all quiet when she came in. She wasn't letting you talk at all.
No, other people started to over talk as soon as she started. And that's why I was like, everybody hold on, because I like to respond to the I should have dropped everybody out of the box is what I should have did. But it's okay. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
A certain way here.
Yeah, we were all in there yesterday, and so many people were just trying to give her advice, and motherly advice, and there's nothing wrong with it. And she's like, I'm a good mom. I know what I'm doing. I don't tell you how to raise your kid. Don't tell me how to raise mine. Well, when you put it on the internet for the entire world to see, and there's something obviously wrong, so somebody's going to say something. Right. If you don't want anybody to say anything about your parenting, keep it offline.
Correct. You don't get to tell me to back off or tell me that I'm being nosy. When it's like I said, I don't go in her house and go up to her cameras and then find stuff out and then try to talk about it here. I only talk about what I see.
Absolutely.
What I see is atrocious.
And if I ever had to deal with CPS, do you think I would ever put my business out there on the entire fucking internet? Like, I mean, that's just, to me, you want attention and you crave that attention. I understand that, but there's ways to go about it and you're getting the wrong attention.
And y'all are funny for telling her that I was talking about her, but as you can see, that doesn't move me any way, shape, or form. I don't get excited. I don't get upset. She came in and said what she had to say and left. She didn't fix anything, but I hope y'all enjoyed it while she was here because she didn't do a damn thing.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
guys,
Hold on, it's sad because that baby just cries for her attention, and we all see it.
she
Everybody
just
sees
showed
it.
it. She just showed it. So she showed what her priorities were, and that's that.
Yeah.
Well, I know my mods have other things to do, and I need a nap.
Okay. Well, I need to clean. All right, I'm going to drop down because I'm cleaning. And so you have a wonderful, fantastic day and take a good nap.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get one. Hopefully, the scammers let me do it. But I'm gonna get a lap today, regardless, because basketball is getting ready to come on in a couple of hours, and my team is playing. Just so y'all understand, my honey and I do brackets so that we compete with each other. And he, of course, picked Florida to go all the way. I picked Duke to go all the way. I regret that decision now, but it is what it is. So it's a thing in this household. Yeah, the Razorbacks. I was surprised. Did y'all see what is it called? McNeese win? I was like, who even are you? But I love when the underdog wins. It makes me feel so excited because some of those kids probably thought they would never even get there. Oh, play one. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, one more time. One more again before we leave. One more again, or else I'm gonna get in trouble by the boss. We'll be live tomorrow night for, I guess you could call it prime time event on the East Coast. And it'll be in the evening, the early evening on the West Coast. Tomorrow night, I'm going live. I may even talk about some people I didn't talk about this week just because of some of the nonsense that's going on. We having a sleepover. So, best game we've played all year. Yeah, I love it. I love March Madness. It takes over around here. So that shows you how much I love y'all because I'm doing a live during the games. And I think my game is actually on. No. My game won't come again until Sunday. But love y'all. So thank everyone for coming in, coming up, sharing your thoughts. I hope I bring value. If you think I do, give me a follow. Join the team. I'm making so much money doing a heart me. Oh, okay, hold on. A heart me is a penny. So if you think I'm making money off of heart me's, try again with somebody else. Go ahead, honey.
I'm sorry. I just when I came in earlier, I know you had said before your live that Just Stop was having a live at 4. It's actually Scam Opera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, it's okay to just write it in the chat and pin it, but it wouldn't let me pin it for some reason. So I just wanted to let people know, just in case they were going to attend. It's actually Scam Opera, and it's at 4 p.m. So she could do it well before Miss Dee Dee's live.
Okay, yep. 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for
You're
clarifying
welcome.
that because I would have,
You're
well, I
welcome.
would have went after Just already, and then I would have seen where she was live. But that's only if she was in the box. So thank you for
Right.
damn
Right.
opera.
Okay. Thank you for letting me up again, Miss Digital.
No problem. Yes, 4 p.m. Eastern is Scam Opera's live, and then mine is 8 Eastern. Everybody have a fantastic day. Hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. And stay on the path. Don't let these people scare you. What is she gonna do? Sue me for talking about the stuff she puts on the internet? No problem. Go ahead and try. because then that'll give me the opportunity to depose you, and we can find out more of your business. We'll know more of what you lied about. So go ahead. Or go find somebody else to threaten, because I'm not the one. I'm probably old enough to be her mama. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Stick with it. We just have to be consistent and patient and consistent. And I will see you all in a chat or tomorrow at 4. And then don't forget to come. You can have dinner, drinks, whatever you would like. We're going to have a good time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Much love to you guys, too. Give love to my mods, Ryan, Fallon, CJ. They do a tremendous job behind the scenes. You have no idea how much. And I appreciate you. Right. Have your popcorn ready. Goodbye, everyone.